Controversial. I'm a lager drinker generally, but no.
I'm Alberto, one of the co-founders of Garage Beer Co.
My name's Owen Ashmore, and I'm one of the 2 head brewers here at Garage Beer Co.
So Garage Beer Co. was founded in January 2015. So everything, let's say, my side started, it was October 2008 when I moved to Ireland for a master's degree. And one of my classmates was from US, well, he's still from US. And once he gave me like one beer he brewed himself at home, like a homebrew beer. And that changed completely my way of seeing beer. At that time I was used, to all the industrial. And that's how it started. Like since then I homebrew for like 2008 till 2015 basically, yeah, all these years. Until I met my business partner here in Barcelona, and together we decided to move and start a Garage Beer Co. So when we started in January 2015, we opened up as a brew pub in the center of Barcelona. The response was so positive that after 11 months more or less, we reached full capacity. That's where we decided to step up. We moved in the current brewery in Sant Andreu, still in Barcelona, but quite a bigger facility compared to the one that we first opened. In March 2017 we opened doors, so more or less 2 years after we opened the first brew pub. I'd say I'd say Soup IPA, which is our first New England IPA we made, and is definitely the most important. People say, I'm not completely sure, that it's the first New England ever brewed in Spain. So that's why we're particularly proud of it.
Well, it was kind of the usual story of home brewing and then home brewer turned professional brewer, but it was the discovery of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, which is another cliche, but discovered that beer on a trip to America back in 08 or 09, I think it was. Came home and I was like, I need to learn how to make this or something similar, and my friend's dad donated me his old homebrew kit, which was a disgusting plastic barrel encased in wood with an element in it, and brewed quite a number of batches on that actually, so that was it. At the time when I started homebrewing, I was working as an engineer, and then I started studying with the IBD through my diploma in brewing. And then I got a job at a brewery in Ireland, which was kind of close to where I was living at the time. And then a couple of years there, moved to the UK for coming on 2 years, I think it was. I worked at 2 different breweries while I was there, and then came across the garage in 2018, and I've been here for around 4.5 years. Well, I mean, for an Irishman coming from the climate there, the sun was obviously an appeal, but at the time, Garage were making a lot of waves. There was quite a lot of hype around them in the UK even. So yeah, it was kind of twofold. I wanted to move to a warmer climate, and they were brewing a lot of the stuff I wanted to make.
started pretty early days, because when Jordi, the founder of Agronet, basically was supplying us with all the chemicals you need for brewing, and while we were growing, he was growing as well, and it looks like, yeah, we were in the same path. Yeah, absolutely. It's, working with them, it's always been great, and because it's not only a supply, it's also, you know, there's the human part of it. If you need, you know, a problem, if you have a problem, Jordi and all the Agronet guys are ready to give you a hand. I need to. I mean, as soon as Jordi got to work with Simpson, then we started immediately. When I say Jordi, I mean Agronet. When Agronet started working with Simpson, we started working with Simpson, because we couldn't find Simpson before in Spain, I think.
So one of the breweries I worked for in London was pretty much exclusively Simpsons. So I had used, and that was mostly best pale ale and extra pale, then with a few other specialities. I think we used a lot more of the range here than I had before. So by far and away our most used malt is the Simpsons extra pale ale. That is essentially the base of all of our IPAs, our hazies and our West Coast IPAs as well. Which, when I started here and the way the market was and the trends were, we were using Golden Promise, and obviously so that was a slightly darker coloured beer that it produced. But the way trends have gone and brewing has gone, it was kind of, we phased extra pale and sometimes low colour Golden Promise as well, but mostly extra pale. I think it stays out of the way of hops enough, but it also has a nice little touch of biscuity character that balances the massive dry hop loads that we use in general, you know. And the extract is good compared to, we've used some other malts from time to time and we don't get the same extract. So on our kit it's an English style infusion kit, single infusion kit, so it's well suited for brewing with that type of malt. Oh yeah, no, we've always found, I think, over anything else that we use, that we get better extract on Simpsons, on our kit at least. So you know, we're not step mashing or anything like that, so if we use German malts, which we do on some things, but we don't get the same extract, the same efficiency. Yeah, so we will use, I suppose on the lower end, caramel malt quite a bit on, if we're looking for a little touch of sweetness on some of our IPAs, like West Coast IPAs. And then we brew a bitter probably once, be it an ordinary bitter, extra special bitter or whatever, once every sort of 6 weeks or so. So that will often, well, more often than not, have a bit of crystal medium in there. We brew a porter that Jamie was just drinking there a minute ago, which, let me see, oof, off the top of my head, what is it? DRC and aromatic are both in there, so DRC being the crystallized malt there. Yeah, so we'll always have in stock pretty much across the whole range: caramel, crystal light, crystal medium, DRC. Yeah. Favorite malt? I'm a big fan of, okay, I'll give you two. Extra Pale, just because it's like our workhorse that like does everything we need it to do. And then Amber Malt. We don't use it that often, but we use it from time to time in porters and stouts. We do a nitro dry Irish stout that is only kegs, only in our bars, and that's got some amber malt in it, and I just feel it gives a nice little biscuity note to that beer that otherwise is kind of more about the roast. Controversial. I'm a lager drinker generally, but no, my two favorites is one is our Pilsner Ariba, and then the other is that nitro stout that I was talking about. It's called the Quiet Man, and yeah, that is like a 4.2% beer. It's exclusively Simpsons Malt, and yeah, it's like a base of Maris Otter, some roasted barley, some amber malt, and then some flakes in there as well. So. My favorite brewer of another brewery. Did I mention it before? Sierra. Well, that's kind of from a nostalgic point of view, but it wouldn't. My favorite beer, do you know what? It's probably either Pilsner Urquell in the Czech Republic, exclusively there rather than anywhere else, because I think it's just a completely different thing. And, or let me see. Do you know what? I'm a big fan of like cask English bitters and stuff like that. I love a bit of Landlord when I go over there on trips. Yeah, let me see. What else would I say? I was on a trip to the States recently on the West Coast and drank a huge amount of West Coast IPAs. So some of the ones that are fresh in my head. Let me see. Some of the classics from like Alesmith and stuff like that, and Pizza Port, there we go, that was, yeah. But I don't know, it depends. I couldn't say I have a favorite beer. It changes all the time, and depending on what I want to drink, the season and so on. Yeah, so our batch size is 37.5 hectoliters, and we're pretty much brewing 5 days a week. It's one brew a day. So doing the maths, we're kind of just under 500,000 litres a year. Kind of a 50-50 split between cans and kegs. And yeah, so that goes all over, really, all over Europe. The majority is here in Spain, but or Catalonia in Spain, I should say. And yeah, but you know, I can get garage at home when I go home to Ireland, and you obviously have it in the UK and so on. We're well represented all over the continent.
We, let's say, are a hop-forward type of brewery, even though we do also, you know, the sours, all this type of modern style of beer. But I would say that the mission is not only just about beer, is more about even people and feeling with people, because as I say, we open first as a brew pub. So for us, it's super important the feeling that the person has when it comes in one of our bars. Like the music, the lights, the kindness. I mean, people need to feel at home, and that's possibly even more important than just a product. Okay, it's a tough question, because right now in Spain in general, the quality of beer it's excellent. So you find a lot of very good breweries. And so there's nothing to say about the quality right now. Everyone has its own identity, but what was the question again? I think it's in the past 5 years, the beer scene has grown a lot, like everyone else, and so the customer paladar as well. Now they're not critics. They have a good paladar. They know what a good beer is in terms of mouthfeel, in terms of aroma, and especially in the Spanish market in terms of drinkability. So I see the world is turning into local consumption, where you need not just a product, as I said before, but also a connection with the client. And that's, I think, what we are also good at, and what we like is also creating more retail points, so you have a better control of your product, but also a better connection with the end consumer. That's where I see Garage going.